Now, I normally wouldn't save in the middle of an LP, but oof, I really shouldn't be doing that, but...
Cool.
Okay. Now, for a short, fleeting moment, we will do some story progress, because I cleaned out most available things.
See, whenever I play Ocarina, it's just my goal to beat the first 3 dungeons.
Fuck no!
And get to the good part of the game.
Fuck no! There's so much. Most of the collectibles are with Young Link!
But the good part of the game.
Oh, no. Oh, I agree with you, but...
I mean, I don't even consider the first 3 dungeons to be the first 3 dungeons. To me, the first dungeon is the Forest Temple.
That's gonna be a ways off, trust me.
You said it me. Why?
Because of all the shit I gotta...
You know, I'm barely even keeping up with what you're doing. I just kind of look up and you're like in a spot. I go back to talking to Brian. Carson's pretty distracted.
Because...
So Brian, do you have any interest in playing Dungeons & Dragons?
I mean, I never really thought about it.
I have a few friends who do, and it's almost kind of like curiosity.
That made me think of,
Maybe I would drag you if I were going
Dungeons & Dragons? There was that Disney show, Gravity Falls. In the season 2, there's a episode where they play... In Gravity Falls Season 2, in an episode they play a board game named Dungeons, Dungeons, and More Dungeons. And the point that happens in the episode, this one really funny joke. So, you play Dungeons, Dungeons, and More Dungeons with a 30... It was like a 36-sided die. And the monster from the game board came to life, and they had to fight him by playing the game, and they were winning. But then he used this controversial monster that could only be defeated by rolling like a perfect 36, and someone, you can't use that monster, it's banned. We're playing the controversial 1992 edition, he's legal. It was just this good. Also, another good joke in that episode was, you should have been here when they tried to update the game in the 90s, and then they showed a joke commercial where in the 90s they updated Dungeons, Dungeons, and More Dungeons to Diggity Dungeons and all that, and the villain was like rapping and doing like the yo-yo.
Oh my goodness.
Gravity Falls is amazing.
That's almost as bad as... You want to see what destruction looks like? Here it is in human form. It's your boy Goobsma.
What are you talking about? That's still, I think that might be my favorite team boss ever.
It's your boy Voldemort.
Damn it, internet.
No lie. If I was to take Pokemon and remake the first game, I would first of all put all 4 admins in the first game instead of in the second game where Team Rocket was basically shit. Give them like really good Pokemon and make them actually important. Make Team Rocket important and probably introduce you two before you fight Giovanni, but not be able to catch him. And then I'd also make Giovanni an actual threat.
You mean, okay, you started that, and I could have sworn you said if you're going to remake the first Pokemon game, as soon as Giovanni pops out, you're like, you want to see what destruction looks like in human form? It's your boy Giovanni!
I mean, I'm just saying, if Team Rocket, like, if all 4 Team Rocket admins and Giovanni had Guzma's team, come on now, you can't tell me that those battles wouldn't.
I'm glad the fishing went quick. That means we can actually get a decent amount of other stuff.
Brian,
I actually thought about that, and I was gonna like, what is it? Like the blue, yeah. I was like Archer. Like Archer's lead Pokemon would be a Scyther, but it'd be a special Scyther.
Okay.
And it would be like white and blue, but it would have an ability called Blinding Speed.
So,
which means that like literally everything had a 50% chance of hitting it.
You two aren't even paying attention to what I'm doing, are you? You two are just kind of rambling, and then you look up, and it's just, oh, Carter's there now.
Yeah. I mean, Brian's talking about how he'd make Pokemon. Basically, Brian would make boss Pokemon with special abilities in all the admin fights.
Important note. Okay, so important note about something stupid. So, Death Mountain has fire. We've got a wooden shield. I picked up a metal shield, but it's too big for a kid. This is a useless shield. Doesn't melt though.
So close. Damn it!
And
that's why I played Awakening first.
What is it?
He died.
You lost somebody?
Yeah, he lost somebody.
Cousin's playing a Fire Emblem game, by the way. So,
You gotta play Awakening first. Build up those tactical RPG skills.
Anyway-
and then go back to the.
But if
I'm
I play
telling you, man, the hardest thing about playing that game on hard mode is the fact that your levels are ass. Like, you literally level up and it's like, oh, nothing went up. Well, damn.
okay,
Oh, so they turn the RNG
if
off.
you're playing Ocarina of Time, don't use the main path when you approach Goron City. An asshole Goron rolls down in the game's program where he's trying his damnedest to hit you. Just do this. Okay. But we're not going to Goron City. I'm going to attempt something. Which, this is tricky, and I'm going to have to line it up right, because the...
Right, and how would you make the Elite Four?
So, okay.
How would I make the Elite Four? Well, I'd go with my original theory, which is that I'd have to have something. My original problem with the things that Pokemon has done is that
A little bit easier with this.
gym leaders and Elite Four are not a threat.
Okay.
Well, they tend to not be a threat. If anything, the champion is normally the biggest threat, but then again, most of, like, what is it? We had this discussion. Only 2 of, like, the multiple champions are an actual threat.
I can do this, it's just...
Blue is only a threat because his team is balanced.
I don't know, man. Sun and Moons was tough.
Sun and Moon's Elite Four annoyed me.
It's bad.
I mean,
I'm convinced the game has cheated IVs.
I could have done without the confusing, but other than that, I was fine with it. No, those types were stupid.
Grab command.
I have no idea why your types would be rock, flying, fighting.
Actually, the flying was the worst one for me.
Rock, flying, fighting, and
If I can get in the corner.
rock, flying,
Ooh,
fighting,
I just play the game.
rock, flying, and ghost. Like the
There we go!
like the most random
I did
types
it!
ever.
Guys, I did it! Aha!
My thing about the situation is that
Okay.
when it comes to that question, is that what do I want the Elite Four to do? Do I want the Elite Four to be this impossible challenge for the player? Or do I want the Elite Four to be the greatest challenge ever? Do I want the Elite Four to literally be significant?
Why does that Goron explode on... no, I cut you off. That I have never understood. So that Goron just rolls down the path and blows up.
So that's my thing about it, is that I'm just kind of like, I don't really... Yes, it all comes down to what you want the Elite Four to represent, because I told you before that I would, like, you could technically have a Pokemon game where you could fight every gym leader off the rip. Except they all have, like, 6 Pokemon, and they all have them at, like, level 60 and up.
Oh,
Which would basically mean that you would spend the majority of your time playing Pokemon game that you're playing, leveling Pokemon, just so that you can, you know, actually begin to beat the game.
whoops. Wrong command. There we go. Okay.
Now, what I think is interesting when it comes to the design of that situation is, like I said before, I was like, Scyther is Scyther. There's nothing special about Scyther. If we were to just stick with the fact that we were making one again, which means that we just had Generation 1 Pokemon, due to the previous state of things, I can slightly get away with in mentioning other Pokemon from the multiple different generations. For example, I can say that you fight Archer the first time. Archer has his Scyther. His Scyther has blinding speed, which means that basically everything that you throw at it has a 50 or at least or even worse, 25% chance of hitting. Which means that the only way that you can deal with that threat efficiently is using something that does not take accuracy into account. Which means that you basically have to pick up something with something like Aerial Ace. which means that in a design standpoint, I have to put something that learns Aerial Ace or the ability for you to teach something Aerial Ace before you would get to the Archer fight. So that way you can't say that you didn't have the tools to fight him. But also, in the second Archer fight, I can make it even worse for you. I can sit there and evolve his Scyther into a Scizor. And then the last Archer fight, which would probably be during the your siege of Gem 8 to fight Giovanni, he would probably be the one before Giovanni, and he would probably have a Mega Scyther. Or a Mega Scizor.
Oh, Caesar. Anyway. So, we're back in the forest, guys.
I didn't realize that Caesar was a Gen 2 Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
Caesar was...
Like, because of the previous state of things, I can slightly get away with mentioning Pokemon from other generations.
They introduced the Steel typing, so they made Onix evolve into Steelix and Scyther evolve into Caesar. But the interesting thing about Caesar, it has the same base stats as a Scyther, they just shuffled the numbers
I
around.
still have no idea why Cinnamon did not implement any...
Okay, I'm taking the wrong path on
Mega
purpose.
To make the game artificially harder, that's why.
Why? Because it's not about Mega Evolutions anymore, it's about Z-moves.
Well, yeah, so much so that in competitive play they have removed Mega Evolutions.
Okay.
I mean, as far as the competitive scene...
30.
As far as the competitive scene is
100.
concerned, there is no
100.
such thing as Mega Evolutions.
100.
Seed pouch.
Dang, Deku Scrubs.
That's like high Reddit. Like, for all intents and purposes, Z moves have replaced Mega Evolutions. So when you play officially competitive Pokemon, there are no Mega Evolutions anymore. There are Z moves.
While I'm here, I'm gonna do a mini game that... I have to do this memory game with an Ocarina down here, and I have to win 3 times for a piece of heart. Yeah, this is so long for no good reason. So, that's a thing. Whoops. And if I roll the stick... Stupid C-stick! C-stick is not the best button.
It's not a button, it's a stick.
Yeah. Okay.
Can't you just do the buttons?
One of those was up.
Oh.
On that other one I failed. That's the first one. They get longer. This is 1 rupee, then you win 5 rupees, and then you win a piece of heart. But
Would you like to play some more?
I need your damn piece of art, so yes. Yeah. Okay.
Look at those soothing tones.
Mm-hmm.
Secretly, guys, this is Link's Ocarina instruction class. Link signed up for this course.
One more!
It was a requirement. He needed an elective to go with his major in swordsmanship.
Yeah, I will admit the C-stick isn't the best for certain buttons. When you're rolling it, it will often, so... Okay, going good so far. Trying to get better at pressing up without it doing.
Because, I mean, Sean, in reality,
Okay.
what makes the Elite Four hard?
Stats.
Trying to focus.
So is Elite Four hard because they're higher level than your Pokemon are, or are they hard because their Pokemon are forced to be better than yours?
I would say typically they go for just straight DPS race. Without any actual thought on anything else.
That should finish it.
Oh!
Yes! Oh, piece of heart is mine. Okay.
So just speaking, as long as you can build a team with
Okay.
type advantages and
So.
big enough numbers, the Elite Four isn't hard.
Be needing these in a few minutes.
So what do you think would make it hard?
Huh?
So what would make Pokemon a difficult game?
The game has to cheat.
No, I don't think
Well, I
it
mean,
has to.
if the game has to cheat, then I mean,
Sun and Moon had to cheat for its difficulty.
I do not feel the same way. I think you were underleveled.
Whoops. Rolled the wrong one. Sun and Moon, what it did for challenge, the totem Pokemon are levels they shouldn't be, forms they shouldn't be, with moves they shouldn't have, because everything is off leveled, where they literally had to stack the odds against you with a Pokemon that shouldn't.
I don't think they were as hard as you make them sound to be.
so let me give an example. Sean, do you think that a Scizor with Swords Dance and probably X Scissor, that you have a 25% chance of hitting on any normal attack is difficult or broken?
I mean, it's RNG at that point, so I mean...
But do you feel like it's a challenge that is unfair to you, or a challenge that is challenging, that is just challenging?
I mean, and what kind of Pokemon I brought.
There we go.
I mean, if I have, like, I don't know,
Oh, good, he drops it. Okay.
high-powered fire-type Pokemon, it's not gonna be hard. It's just a matter of hitting it. I mean, there are no moves I can repair myself with except just high-accuracy fire moves.
Okay, so.
Especially since I can't raise my accuracy. I can only lower my opponents and raise my evasiveness. So no, would I call it hard? No, I would just call it RNG, which is a way to create the
Okay.
appearance of difficulty in an RPG. But it's not how I would do it.
Sora! Ah, yeah.
Honestly,
Did baby girl follow you all the way over there?
I think Pokemon were like a brilliant idea and just need to be.
Gotta be like real quick. Baby girl, you following me?
I'm following her.
But
She called.
I think Pokemon were a brilliant idea and just need to be fleshed out a little more. And
So is it difficult or cheating?
To
If
me!
Elite Four, if all 4 Elite Four members had at least one totem Pokemon.
That.
At that point, they would be properly leveled. My problem was more that the totem Pokemon literally are...
well, yeah, but you're only referring to 2 of them.
Oh no, I actually hated most of them.
But no, I mean, when his actual definition of what his problem is, it only applies to 2.
No, they're all cheated in some capacity. First, they all have stat boosts they shouldn't have.
Well, that's the entire way they make them a boss
But
Pokemon.
when you get past that, The Raticate is underleveled, the Wishy-Washy has moves it shouldn't have, the Salazzled is underleveled and has moves it shouldn't have, same with the Relentless, the Mimikyu isn't cheated, the last one shouldn't have Sky Uppercut, and the, one Electric Beetle, it can exist at that level, but you can only evolve those in the last area. They have some aspect they shouldn't.
I will not. The last area thing I think is a technicality that can be allowed.
I said technically.
So
Just to show it off, there's a fairy fountain, right?
I would not count that as a negative to that one.
It's more.
You're right. Mimikyu is not cheated. The last one is.
It shouldn't have Sky Uppercut.
Okay, but the last one is like pathetically easy.
Which was good.
No.
Yes.
That's the entire problem I have with the last one. If it's easy, why is it even there? You could just not put a Pokemon there.
Because, okay, I'm just gonna come out and say this. I know a lot of people won't challenge in Pokemon, but if your challenge is, why is this fighting dragon is quad weak to fairy, I beat
it with normally effective moves.
But
I beat it with normally effective moves.
A lot of people were not.
I beat it with normally effective
not
moves.
your problem, huh?
I hit it with 2 attacks.
A lot of people were complaining that it was dying to fairy.
I hit it with dark moves.
Yeah, I obliterated it.
Or was it a poison move? It may have been a poison move.
I literally used Poison Fang and then set up Minimize.
No, I hit it with 2 poison jabs.
To cut away from that real quick, just to talk about moves alone, just a quick question. Is it cheating or is it challenging? Because this happens to some, not all. But is first impression cheating or challenging?
What? You see, because I picked Rowlet as the starter in both forms, I took neutral damage from first impression, so I didn't really have much problem with that move.
I think he was talking about general first impressions, unless he means the move.
I do mean the move.
Oh, okay.
Because the move in general is literally a move that says "fuck you" on turn 1.
No.
It works like
but it's bug type, so
it's priority 2. Fake Out beats it.
Really?
Fake Out's priority 3. Fake Out beats First Impressions. First Impressions is just power 90 and works on the very first turn, and it's a physical bug move. But it's priority 2. If you had a faster priority 2 user, like say you have Extreme Speed Dragonite, that's definitely outspeeding and winning. First Impressions can be beaten rather easily if you have a Fake Out user or something with higher priority that's faster or equal priority. Time for one of the greatest things ever. We all need to shut the fuck up and enjoy. I love this part of the game. Just bask in it, Brian. Just bask in it. I love that part of the game. That dance is so iconic. That's his victory animation in Hyrule Warriors. Meet Darunia, big boss of the Gorons. So, what's going on if you're not reading the text? Ganon came to get the Goron's ruby. They said no. Ganon's plan? He blocked Dodongo's cavern. The Gorons are starving.
I like how Gandalf is very passive-aggressive about this. No, you can't have it. I'm gonna put a curse on you. I'm not gonna just burn you down. That'd be too easy. oh, you're gonna do that? I'm just gonna block your room until you say yes.
Which leads to two problems I will bring up in a minute. Well, first of all, the Gorons eat rocks, and there are plenty of rocks in other places, but the rocks in the Dodongo's Cavern taste better. So they would rather starve than eat less tasty rocks. And they know that bombs are capable of blowing up the rock Ganon put there. Okay, guys, so my question of the day is, what do you guys think of Darunia's dance? Personally, I really love this part of the game. It's a very iconic part of the game that a lot of people know and love. Also, as kind of a bonus question, what did you guys think of the trick I did to get the piece of heart on Dodongo's Cavern early? I think that trick is really useful. It's why I do it every time I play this game. I love getting that piece of heart early. But anyway, I would really love to know what you guys think. You can leave your thoughts, opinions, and answers in the comments below, or you can leave them on social media. All my social media links are in the video description. Now, as always, I need to be a shill for a minute. If you liked my video, please hit the like button and leave some comments. If you're new to my channel and want to see more of my videos, please hit the subscription button and subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please ring the bell next to the subscription button. That gives you the proper notifications of whenever I upload a new video. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media. Doing all of these things really helps out the channel, and it really helps our communities grow. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys next time.